Philadelphia Phillies baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
11 days from now, the Phillies will be in the Steel City, and Cliff Lee will take the mound for game number 2 of the season at PNC Park. When the Phillies left-hander grabs the ball, you know what to expect, and keeping him away from his first regular season competition is not in the plans. Soak it in, everybody. Less than a week to go before the Phillies head home to Citizens Bank Park. Bright, sunshiny afternoon. The fans getting a chance to soak in the final few days here at Bright House Field as the Phillies take on the Pittsburgh Pirates this afternoon. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Chris Wheeler. Happy to be with you one more time from Clearwater, Florida. And this afternoon, Cliff Lee will make the start for the Phillies, and Lee has gotten better as spring has gone on.
Well, he's just fun to watch, Tom. You know, he's one of those guys just trying to get ready, a veteran pitcher. And as you say, when you look at his numbers, he has improved as the spring's gone on. He's gotten his pitch count up to where he wants to with each outing. We'll see what he's able to do here today. You see his strikeouts have gone up. He'll give up a run here and there because he's more or less a contact pitcher. But as we said, this guy is a veteran pitcher. Guys have their ways of going about spring training. So, Cliff Lee, what do you try to do down here?
Definitely a long season, and with this team there's a lot of expectations, but really all you can control is what can you do today to prepare for tomorrow. And for me, I try to keep it simple and not look too far down the road, and just focus on what I can do today. And if I continue to do that throughout the rest of the season, next thing you know, you'll be in the postseason and have given yourself the best chance to do that.
Cliff Lee, a little low-key there during those responses. But one thing about him, when he goes out to play the game, boy, he has a great time, Tom. You know how he loves to field his position, swing the bat, and compete. Cliff Lee, big-time pitcher.
Well, he's going to get a chance to swing the bat this afternoon in this ball game against the Pirates, and there'll be swings all over the place near Bright House Field. In fact, on the back fields, a handful of different fields. There's Hector Luna walking to the complex to play a little left field today. For more on what's going on back there, here's Greg Murphy.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. We are over here at the Carpenter Complex, the minor league facility for the Philadelphia Phillies. These fields have been around much longer, though, than Bright House Field has been. It used to be that everybody got their work in down here in Florida over here. The best thing about it, the proximity to the ballpark. It allows the big leaguers to come over and get some extra work if they want, and it allows the front office to come on over and take a look at some of the prospects that are moving up through the organization. And one of those prospects is pitching today. He is the first-round pick out of Germantown Friends School in Philadelphia. Jesse Biddle was picked in 2010, has had good success so far, 3-1 with 41 strikeouts and just 9 walks in 33 1/3 innings in the Gulf Coast League, and he is highly regarded throughout the organization. And, Tom, throughout this game, we're going to take you in and around the area here in Clearwater, throughout the complex, and show you a couple of reasons why it is widely considered the best complex in Florida baseball. Guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. It is a great sight to watch those games being played while this one is being played this afternoon against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yep, it'll be Cliff Lee on the mound for the Phils this afternoon, and he'll be opposed by relief pitcher Chris Reesop for the Pirates. We'll get into more about that once we get into the game. We'll also get into more about what makes Clearwater so great for Phillies fans. That is kind of tantalizing. Miss Hallie Mealy with the national anthem this afternoon. The Phillies and the Pittsburgh Pirates from Bright House Field. Another sold-out crowd as we wind down the final week of spring training games down here in Clearwater. Pirates not too far away in Bradenton, Florida, made their trip up. They've brought some of the regulars for this afternoon's ball game. Let's take a look at their starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Alex Presley leads it off in left field. Josh Harrison bats second. Jose Tabata is in right field hitting third. Then Andrew McCutchen and Casey McGee. Yameko Navarro is the second baseman. He'll bat sixth. In the bottom third of Alvarez, Haig, and McHenry. And they will face Phillies left-hander Cliff Lee, whose starts have gotten better and better as spring training has moved on. His velocity's gotten so much better as spring training's moved on. And Lee getting set to face the Pittsburgh Pirates this afternoon. The same team he'll face the second game of the regular season. And Wheels, there are his numbers.
And with Lee, Tom, it's always a matter of location. You know, this is a guy that's not going to throw the ball real hard, never has, never will. But he has more than enough giddy up, especially with his other stuff and the way he's able to locate pitches. And when he gets his curveball over, he can really be a strikeout pitcher. He has all the pitches. Probably will max out around 92. Is a tremendous strike thrower. Sometimes will throw too many strikes because he'll get the ball in the middle of the plate.
Well, the Pirates are 8-14 this spring coming into this afternoon's ball game. Yesterday, the Phillies lost to the Red Sox. And John Lester, who pitched a fantastic game, picked up 10 strikeouts. Let's take a look at the Toyota Spring Report. Phillies are 10-13-3. They've been hovering around 500 for most of spring training. In fact, this is 3 games under 500. It's the most they've been under 500 since the games began. Hitting .272. Not hitting a whole lot of home runs, though. In 26 games, they have 19 home runs, and their ERA is creeping up a little bit. Charlie is hoping that the guy next to him is back very soon. There's Chase Utley watching this afternoon's ball game.
That's one reason why they don't have as many home runs.
And the other reason, took some ground balls again yesterday over at first base, and that was Ryan Howard.
Yep. So
here we go. Alex Presley will lead things off for the Pirates. Presley has all but made this team. A 26-year-old from Shreveport, Louisiana. He's having a great spring. .319 with a home run and 7 runs batted in. Most likely will not be a starter for the Pirates, but he'll be an extra outfielder. Now the first pitch is in there for a strike. They were underway. It's no balls and 1 strike. Presley last year in the minor leagues hit .330 with 8 home runs and 41 runs batted in. He played 87 games at AAA. And then came up and played in the big leagues where he hit .298 with 4 home runs. It's that one foul past the first base bag. And it's 1-2. Yeah, the outfield for the Pirates is pretty much set with McCutchen in center. And Tabata probably in right field this year. They also have Nate McLeod, who's battling for a roster spot. Will most likely be on the team.
Yeah, they like Presley. I mean, he's a guy that they've looked at for a while now. Thought he had a chance to be an everyday player, and they hope he is.
Yeah, he could be. I mean, it could wind up being in left field for them and playing every single day. 2-2 the count. Low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lee last year became such a strikeout pitcher. I mean, he had some games that were so impressive with the strikeout totals.
And almost always on a night when he had a good curveball, too.
As his signs from Schneider in the payoff pitch. Up high, ball 4. So he walks the leadoff batter. And the Pirates have the first hitter of the game aboard. You see Cliff Lee second in the league in strikeouts a year ago behind the Cy Young Award winner Clayton Kershaw. Lee and Halladay both finished in the running for last year's Cy Young Award. And Josh Harrison takes a strike. It's 0-1. Harrison 14 for 29 this spring, .483 batting average. No home runs, 5 runs batted in. Hit .272 last season with the big club. And he whacked that one off his foot, and he's behind 0-2. Harrison in AAA last season hit .310. Pirates had a number of guys that hit over .300 for their AAA team in Indianapolis. Clint Hurdle in his second year as the skipper for the Buccos, trying to help turn things around. He thought he had it going last year.
He did.
The ball was scorched into the seats.
They really did have it going last year, and then they struggled at the last couple months of the season. They were above 500. Had a tough series in Atlanta, came into the Citizens Bank Park. Phillies swept them, and then it was all downhill, and you see they finished well under 500 again.
He was 72 and 90 a year ago. Another foul ball, and it remains no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, they put together a rotation last year, and they were able to really pitch well for 4 months of the season. It held together. Their bullpen held together, and then you know, everything fell apart for them.
Another foul ball, so it remains 0-2. Pirates then this offseason traded for AJ Burnett. They thought he would be the opening day starter, but then he hurt himself on a bunt play where he bunted a ball back into his face. Now he is starting to throw again, which is a good sign for Clint Hurdle's team, but he won't be ready for opening day. Eric Bedard will start opening day for the Pirates. Breaking ball.
He tried a strikeout pitch there after Harrison keeps fouling everything off. Well, we'll try that big old slow hook, see if I can get him.
Mentioned that Lee really became a strikeout pitcher last year with a .238. The year before, with Seattle and Texas, he had 185 strikeouts as he steps off and chases Presley back. That was the most he's ever had before last season. Ground ball back toward the middle. Could it be 2? Ooh, Galvis makes a wonderful play around the bag. Safe at first is Harrison. They get the lead runner. So 1 out here in the top of the first.
Yeah, that play, that ball's in between right there. Tough play for a shortstop and a second baseman on whose ball is, because right at the bag, Tom says that's a really good play by Galvis, and Harrison can run, or else he would have had a spectacular 4-3 double play.
So 1 away, and here's Jose Tabata.
A lot of times a ball like that, they'll take a peek at each other, and the next thing you know, it's in center field.
Took her the way it was spinning. It was kind of spinning like a Super Ball.
Yeah, and it was big hoppers, big high hop, and that's why that play is so difficult for middle infielders, because it's taking those hops, and it's hard to judge whose ball it is, and who should go to the bag, and who should go after the baseball.
Tabata was limited last year with injuries. He's 23 years old. He's a very big talent, formerly of the Yankees organization. And he pops this one up toward Galvis, and he makes the catch. Only 2 outs.
Well, watch this thing. It's a big high hopper, and it's right up the middle. And the middle infielders, you got to make a decision on whose ball it is, and the other guy goes to the bag. Look where that thing is. Just a little bit to the right of second. So Freddie winds up taking it and then runs to the bag very quickly, and he thought, oh, I had him, but not quite.
He had a lot on the throw, too.
He did, considering he couldn't use his legs a whole lot.
Well, now with 2 outs, it's Andrew McCutchen who's the hitter, and he takes one at the knees. It's 0-1. McCutchen will begin his 4th year in the major leagues with the Pirates, fresh off signing a 6-year, $51 million contract with Pittsburgh. We didn't see him earlier this spring in a couple of different games, including one down in Bradenton. But we'll see our full share of him not only today but next week in the opening series.
Yeah, he's led off a lot for them throughout his career, but they really want him to be a middle of the order hitter, especially the way they're paying him.
Runner goes. Schneider's throw to second on one hop, and it's in and out of the glove of Galvis.
Schneider wants to know if maybe he got interfered with a little bit there. He and McCutchen, I don't know whether they made contact. Whoop.
Well, now the home plate umpire, and it's a young umpire, Adam Hamari, agrees with Brian Schneider. Now Clint Hurdle comes out, and he'll have a discussion with the youngster. I think Clint Hurtt will say, well, what took you so long to call it? You didn't say anything until Brian Schneider said something.
Right.
There's the umpires for today's ball game. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to McCutcheon. Now ball left side. Big hop for Placido Polanco, and Cliff Lee is through the first inning. No runs, no hits. 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the first. It's the Pirates nothing and the Phillies coming up. Charlie Manuel getting set for the bottom of the first inning here at Bright House Field. A scoreless ballgame. Let's take a look at his starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at center field is Shane Victorino. Placido Polanco bats second. Then Hunter Pence and Jim Thome over at first base. Lance Nix is in left field. He'll bat fifth. How about Pete Orr making his first start at shortstop since 2008? He'll bat sixth. The bottom third of Schneider, Galvis, and Cliff Lee. And they'll face Pirate relief pitcher, and he's done nothing but be a relief pitcher in his career, Chris Resop. He's never started a major league game, Wheels.
Well, it's that point in spring training that their guy who's going to pitch against them to pitch here today, so that they see him. You know, that's going to happen sometimes. I don't know what other reason there'd be. See, as you said, Resop is a relief pitcher.
Last year he was 5-4 with a 4.39 earned run average.
Used to see him with the now Miami Marlins and the Florida Marlins, and a converted outfielder.
Converted outfielder who, as you see there, is working on his changeup. He's mostly fastball and curveball. So Shane Victorino will lead it off for the Phillies. Jimmy Rollins getting this afternoon off. Pete Orr playing shortstop for the Phils.
Orr played really well at shortstop yesterday. Opened so many eyes. Like,
3 plays.
where did that come from?
Yeah, 3 plays he made. They were outstanding toward the hole.
Talking to some scouts today before the game down the lunchroom, I said, "You ever see?" They said, "We were writing like crazy. Like, where did this all come from?" So we're saying the same thing. Like, I've never seen the guy do that sort of stuff. Of course, we never saw him play shortstop.
Victorino takes high. It's 1-0. It'll be Victorino, Polanco, and Hunter Pence. Top 3 hitters in the order for the Phillies. Shane has scored 9 runs this spring. He has 5 runs batted in. And that's over for a strike. It's 1-1. By the way, since Resop is a relief pitcher, probably only see him for a couple of innings. We're going to see a revolving door out there in the bullpen.
There'll be quite a few hurlers in here today. And are these yellow? These tops?
I believe that's yellow.
Well,
maybe gold.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't either.
1-1 the count. That's high. 2-1. You know what you do, Wheels, when you don't know the answer?
Look it up.
You go to Google and you try to check out what the answer is. Foul ball. All right, now technically the Pirates' home uniform is white with black sleeves and gold lettering. And their away jersey is gray with black sleeves and gold lettering. So, Wheels, I think we're going to call that gold.
Yeah, it's not yellow.
Kind of looks like yellow,
They say
though.
down south. Say down south. Sure looks like a yeller to me. Oh, yeller.
Liner to right field. That's pretty well hit. Taveda's going back. It's over his head. One hop off the wall. Victorino will get at least 2 out of it. So he's aboard here at the bottom of the first inning.
Shane really jumped on a hanging hook that time. A big old swapped up curveball with 2 strikes. Nailed it. Wind today almost negligible. It looks like it's going to be that way all week. Here he is. That's a break. Well, here he'll be a good look at it. See, it's a curveball and it just hung, and he hits it over his head. Now the wind was blowing out yesterday. Look at the weather forecast for the week. The wind is under 10 miles per hour most of the week, which I don't know what state we're in the month of March. It's never like that down here in March. It's usually so windy.
Now here's Placido Polanco in the 2-hole with a runner at second. Even with the sore finger, Polanco has had himself a fantastic spring.
Now this is the old get him over, get him in situation. People like to use this term, little ball or whatever. What all that means is score the runs you're supposed to score. And that means get them over, get them in here, and get a 1-0 lead for a good pitcher.
Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Perfect guy to get him over, too, Tom. Because the way he can hit the ball the other way.
Yeah, Polanco has not picked up a bushel of extra base hits this spring, but he's made good contact. He's pulled a few, which is a great sign. Last year in the second half of the season, a lot of his hits were going the opposite way. They were little floaters the opposite way. He just wasn't healthy. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Down and away, 2-1. Charlie Manuel has not decided on his lineup. At least he hasn't told anybody what his lineup will be with Utley and Howard out. But you would figure that Polanco is going to be in the 2-hole.
Oh, yeah, he's prototype 2-hole hitter.
Pickoff play is on, and Victorino nearly stepped right into the glove of Josh Harrison.
Yeah, they saw him dancing around out there, a little bit off balance, and decided, we're going to try this. And we may get him, just leaning the other way a little bit. And that's all timing. Infielder breaks in, pitcher throws, or holds on to it if you don't want to throw it.
Looking at that replay, it looked like Victorino may have been out.
It was close.
Foul ball, and it's 2-2 to Polanco. Polanco's trying to get the ball the other way.
Yeah, and this guy's trying to pitch him in a little bit, too, to make it tougher to do. But Placido Polanco, one of those guys, can inside out the ball.
No score here in the bottom of the first. Pirates had a base runner. They thought they had a runner in scoring position, but he was sent back to first after some interference by Andrew McCutchen at the plate. The new rule book for the 2012 season is scheduled to be out officially sometime in the next couple of days. They do wait as long as possible to print them just in case there's any drastic rule changes that may be made.
And unlike other sports, this sport rarely makes a drastic rule change.
Yeah, there probably are anywhere between 12 and 17 minor adjustments as Polanco rolls it through the hole on the left side, and Victorino's going to be able to walk home with the first run of the day. An RBI single for Polanco, and the Phils are up 1-0.
Well, it looked like Polanco, he did his best to get him over. Now with 2 strikes, you're on your own. He got a pitch that he really pulls here. Victorino broke on the play, too. And he's trying to steal third. See, they're playing Placido up the middle, which is where he hits a lot of balls. He doesn't pull it that often like that, especially in those kind of situations. So they're able to get a quick run without making an out.
So with nobody out, a runner at first, here's Hunter Pence, who was launching them today during batting practice.
He was. He wears out that tiki bar and all areas out there.
He takes the first pitch down low. It's 1-0. Hunter is 17 for 61 this spring. His 2 home runs came very early in the first week of spring training.
First 2 games?
Right.
1 here and 1 over in Tampa.
To right field, not that deep. And there's the first out. So 1 away. Here's Jim Thome. Now, Thome certainly is swinging the bat well. This is his 2-run double on Sunday.
Yeah, this was a bolt right here. The wind was blowing into it. That would have been a 3-run home run. As it was, it kind of died out there in the warning track, and 2 runs scored easily. Wound up giving the Phillies a lead at that point, and then Baltimore tied the game up and ended in a tie.
So Thome back over at first base today with a hop in his step. Taking ground balls before the ball game after taking some swings in the cage. Takes a breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1. So far, so good with his health and really the way he's moving around.
Yeah. And they'll have to watch and just use in in a spot role, but it can be a very big part of this team if he produces the way he's doing in spring training.
Inside, 1-1. That'll hurt your back more than anything right there.
Hurt your back and hurt your feet if it hits you.
Somehow McHenry was able to get to that ball way inside. 1-1 the count. And Polanco is back easily. Polanco is not really a threat to steal. 3 for 3 last year. Although he's been moving well. Just doesn't steal bases as often as he used to, and he never really stole a whole lot before. But Chris Resop is still trying to keep him close.
Working on his move. Can't be any other reason.
79 stolen bases for Polanco. Thome fouls it away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Phil's first baseman. Most bases Polanco's ever stolen was 14 with the Phillies. That was back in his first full season. Or excuse me, second full season with the Phillies. That ball is smoked to right field. Tabata's not going to get there. It's going to go toward the gap and roll to the wall. Polanco is going to cruise home. He's already around third. And Thome pulls into second with an RBI double. Second extra base into the inning for the Phils. And it's 2-0 Philadelphia.
Had some good swings in that at bat, and then really levels off on this thing and lines it in the gap in right center field. Kind of like the double he hit the other day, only he pulls this one a little more. But this is Jim Thome. That was a slider, it looked like, or a cut or something with a little break at the end, but it got right in the middle of the plate and he hits it into the alley. Never been a pull hitter. More of a guy that wears it out to right center and left center.
So the RBI for Thome is his 5th of the spring. And here's Lance Nix. Nix has 7 hits this spring and 35 at-bats. Have to admit, the thing about Nix that's impressed a lot of folks, and I've been impressed with it too, is his ability to throw from the outfield and also his work around the first base bag. He's a pretty good defender.
Yeah, he is, and we knew he was a good outfielder. You know, he's an above-average left fielder, but the first base stuff is a bonus.
Over to the right side, Tomey moves over to third as Navarro takes care of Nix. 2 outs, runner at third for Pete Orr.
Look at a guy like Tomey. You know, for what Charlie tells us about him, when he first got him, he was much smaller and he used to hit a lot of balls to left field, not left center, but to left field. And Charlie tried to get him to be more of an inside-out type guy where you'd hit the ball to the gaps in left center and right center, because he could see he had power potential all over the place. 600 home runs later. And you watch his home runs and a lot of Jim Tomey's replays over the year. Rarely do you see him hit a ball in either corner. They're almost always towards the alleys or at a fielder. Now, he's more of a pull hitter than anything because they put the shift on him. But when he hits a ball in the air, he hits it a lot to left center field. His ground balls almost always go to the right side.
Now he can pull it. If you remember when he was with the Twins, he hit that long home run at Target Field. We've never seen a game at Target Field, but we will this year.
Yeah.
But there's a deck out in right field. It's a little opening with some flags.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he hit it on top of that deck. It was far.
When he ever gets into one like that, I mean, it's just ridiculous when he pulls on his pull side like that. But we talked about it earlier, you know, talking with him early in the spring of this 600 home runs he's hit, the monumental ones, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 of the 6 have gone to left center field, including the one he hit in Philadelphia, number 400.
See his hits last year, 23, 19, 24.
Right, and when you see 23 and 24, probably most of them went towards the alleys that way.
Pete Orr is down on strikes. The side is retired, but the Phillies get a couple. They take the early lead against the Pirates. An RBI single by Placido Polanco, an RBI double from that guy right there, Jim Tomey. We go to the second, 2-0 Phils. Cubs are coming to town Friday, April 27th at 7:05. It's a 4-game series. Now, Sunday the 29th is the Fanatic's birthday. The celebration will result in fans 14 and under receiving the free Fanatic Bank, courtesy of the folks at Citizens Bank. Then Monday the 30th is the Hatfield Dollar Dog Night. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Well, Cliff Lee has a 2-0 lead to work with after 19 pitches in the first. He'll go to work here in the second against Casey McGee. And a lot of talk around Casey McGee in Pirate camp because McGee, over from the Milwaukee Brewers organization, has played a lot of first base this spring and will probably platoon with Garrett Jones over at first base.
And they really want Alvarez to be their third baseman.
Well, that's the part of the conversation.
But they just, he struggled at the end of last season and struggling at the beginning, or struggling here in spring training. And
a lot of strikeouts.
He's a big time prospect, but sometimes guys remain that big time prospects.
Well, that guy right there is an insurance policy for the Pirates because he could play third. He played it for the Brewers.
Yeah, he's a good extra man on your club, Casey McGee. He's got some power, but he gets a little bit overexposed, I think, when he plays too much.
A couple years ago, he hit .285 with 23 home runs and 104 runs batted in for the Brewers. Cliff Lee thought maybe he got him on that fastball, but instead it's 2-2. But McGee is part of a host of new Pirates. Nate McLouth being one of the others. Clint Barmas will be the shortstop.
Clint Barmas is a guy that Clint Hurdle had when he was with Colorado, when he was the manager of the Rockies, and Barmas had some good years before he started getting hurt a lot. So he brought him over here to play shortstop.
That ball's hit well to left field. Nick's on the run. It's over his head, off the wall, and then it dies right there. So McGee will get to second. His 11th hit of the spring. Yeah, the first hit given up by Cliff this afternoon.
Like Lee got a ball up in the zone. Fastball out over the plate, up a little bit. Casey McGee can hit some left-handers.
He had 24 doubles last year in what was a down year. 24 doubles, 2 triples, 13 home runs.
He's a live wire type of personality in a clubhouse too. He's one of those guys that was a big part of the Brewers for a number of years.
There's Yamaiko Navarro with 16 hits this spring, 16 for 45. He bunts, foul. No chance for Brian Schneider to climb the net and get that one.
Yeah, sometimes a manager and coaches will just leave it up to a player on how to get him over. And in this case, maybe this guy thinks the best way for him to get him over is to bunt. That's the way he feels himself, or conceivably they put a bunt on to say, all right, this is the way we want you to get him over. If you can't hit the ball to the right side. That's just knowing your personnel. Like with Polanco. If Polanco ever bunts to get a guy over, he's doing it on his own, because they would never put a sign on to have him give himself up to bunt, because he's more likely to hit a ball hard the other way. Get a hit out of it, too.
Swing and a miss.
He tried. You can see him try and drag the bat through a little bit, hit it the other way. Now with 2 strikes on his own. Right here's a young player. See how he tried to hit the ball the other way, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, especially when you have to.
Navarro lifts it to center field. Victorino is there. McGee is tagging from second. I doubt he'd try to go. What a throw by Victorino. McGee was just trying to draw the throw. Maybe it would go past Polanco.
Yeah, there's no way you run there, because you have to watch the outfielder. When an outfielder is shallow the way Victorino is, and he's coming forward behind the ball, you're not going anywhere. But McGee did the right thing. He goes out there and draws the throw. He sees where it's hit. Now he's going to go back and tag up. And now you watch the outfielder. Now look at Shane. He's drifting, coming forward. He's behind the ball the whole time, and he's shallow. That's the old drop anchor theory.
Well, now Pedro Alvarez. Talked about Alvarez a moment ago. 4 for 33 this spring. 13 strikeouts. Former first-round pick in 2008. He was the second pick overall, hitting 121. Last year he wound up hitting 191 with 4 homers and 19 runs batted in.
As you said, Tom, just a lot of strikeouts. It's like he hasn't adjusted, and the league certainly has an idea how to get him out.
Now he's batting in the 7-hole here. I think everybody with the Pirates, when he was selected, thought he would be a 3 or 4 hitter.
And not that there's anything wrong with batting 7th, but that's not where they envision this guy.
That's why you draft him where you drafted him. Not to be a bottom of the order hitter.
Pirates have said, though, that even with his struggles, he is going to be the opening day third baseman.
We've seen him hit some home runs against the Phillies, and he's got big time power.
Little high. So 3-2 the count.
He's not real sharp right now. See him have these games every once in a while, even during the season, and then all of a sudden he can put it right where he wants to. Comes out of nowhere. Like
Got
that.
Yep. 14 strikeouts for Alvarez this spring. First one of the day for Lee.
Well, even though that, although that even was kind of up, it may not have been a strike. Well, it depends on the umpire. You know, some umpires the pitch is going to be high, but it's a pitch you can hit also. So I don't think he'd be happy with that, but he got an out on it.
That'll bring Matt Hague to the plate. Hague has opened up some eyes this spring after hitting 302 or 309 last year in the minor leagues in AAA. He's come to camp trying to earn a roster spot, and he's 15 for 36 with 4 home runs, a .417 average. So he may make this club. That's to right field. Here comes Penn sliding, and he makes the catch. And the side is retired. A fine play by Hunter Pence to finish up this second. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left, and Hunter Pence sliding through the outfield grass to give the Phils a chance. The season as Marshall Harris talks to Ryan Howard about his injury, recovery, and getting back into MVP form. Watch Phillies Focus, presented by Schuylkill Valley Sports, tonight at 10 right here on the Comcast Network. Beautiful day here in Clearwater. Let's see, today's Tuesday. Phillies will play 2 more games here. Charlie Emanuel's team will be on the road tomorrow and Friday. And then Sunday, they'll be in Orlando. And then after Sunday's game against the Bravos, that bunch right there, off to Philadelphia, to Citizens Bank Park. Jim Thome will make sure his sunglasses are all ready to go. Jim wears the old school sunglasses when he's out in the field.
You would think he would, because that's an old school player right there.
It'll be Brian Schneider, Freddie Galvis, and Cliff Lee here in the second against Chris Resop. Pirates are starting to mill around out in the bullpen. They've got a number of young pitchers that have come to Clearwater for today's game. I believe that Michael Doobie is one of those pitchers. There's Joel Hanrahan.
And Michael was here the last time the Pirates were here, and he wound up taking a loss in that game. But Montanez hit a home run.
Not want to see Lou Montanez.
No.
The second baseman, number 13, Freddie Galvis.
Hanrahan looks like he's getting himself ready to maybe start loosening up. Maybe he'll be the next guy. One out here in the second on that ground. There are all the pitchers that the Pirates have brought. Number 47 is Michael Doobie. He just had his back turned to us.
A lot of gold jerseys down there.
That's right.
Thank you for that.
Yep. Here to help, Wheels.
You're good with those unis. And Google.
Freddie Galvis is 17 for 62 this spring. As of now, it looks like he'll be the opening day second baseman for the Phillies. Swing and a miss.
And they'll see a lot of that, too. Especially batting eighth. You're going to see a lot of breaking balls, change-ups. And there's Chase Utley. Phillies. Well, he says he'll be back, and that's the good news. You just don't know when. But an 8-hole hitter is a tough spot to hit because, especially in the National League, you have to learn how to get the pitcher out of the way.
And a called strike three. Galvis knew it. He looked like he was waiting for the call, and that's the second strikeout for Resop.
Okay, he was guessing with 2 strikes. Not a great idea. Because he gets a fastball right down the middle. When a guy takes a fastball down the middle like this, he's guessing.
Thinking there's something soft coming up.
Well, yeah, and with 2 strikes, it's not a great time to guess.
Well, Cliff Lee is no slouch with the bat. He hit 2 home runs last year. And he fouls the first pitch back.
You know he's going to hack. He loves to hit. Why wouldn't you? Hit the way this guy can.
At the knees, 0-2. And Resop comes back to strike out the last 2 hitters. McHenry will take the ball out of the dirt, fire it down to first. 1, 2, 3 go the Phils. On to the third here at Bright House. Day here at Bright House Field, top of the third, 2-0 Phillies. A lot going on around the area all day long, and for more on that, here's Greg Murphy.
Well, Tom, we're not actually on the complex right now, but only about a Ryan Howard home run, you will find the hottest breakfast place in all of Clearwater. If you're a Phillies fan, you probably already know about Lenny's. Been here since 1980, and every Phillies fan has to stop in here and get themselves some breakfast. Whether you're looking for an omelet and some hash browns or some scrapple or just some scrambled eggs, Lenny's has it. And guys, I know you've been here, haven't you? More than once, I bet.
Murph, there's no doubt about that. It's been a couple years since I've been to Lenny's, but if you go there, don't plan on eating anything for the rest of the day, to be honest with you. I mean, the food itself, the entrees themselves are big enough, but everything else that comes with it is pretty big.
The place has become so...
Look at all the red.
It was owned by a wonderful guy named Lenny Farrell from New York. Lenny died a number of years ago, and his wife took over, and then his sons run the place. And it really became big for Phillies fans back in the 80s, I would say, when we started to do what we called Dream Week then, and now it's called Fantasy Camp, and had team meals there almost. And a lot of Phillies fans began to learn about it by then, and then they'll come back to spring training, and everybody talk about Lenny's, and it just took off. That's what Lenny. That's Lenny. That's like a whole Harry Carey caricature, but that's the way Lenny looked. He was a wonderful guy, and I said he was not a Philadelphian, but he was a New Yorker. And it became a Philadelphia hangout with a New York taste to it.
Remember when the Phillies played the Rays in the World Series? Lenny's was a little torn about what was going on because obviously You know, spring training is very profitable for them. And that place is packed all the time.
And he became a Pinellas County guy, but he was a baseball. Their family was a baseball fan. Lenny had passed on by then, but their families are baseball fans, and they were Rays fans.
Well, Murph hopefully will bring back some stuff from there for everybody.
That place is really good,
Maybe
and not just breakfast. I
Yeah.
mean, lunches is a really good spot.
Now we go to the third, and Michael McHenry will be the batter. And McHenry lifts the first pitch foul against Cliff Lee. Lee, 19 pitches in the first, 19 in the second. And he has thrown first pitch strikes to all 9 hitters.
That's a shock. That's why these teams go up against a guy like Cliff Lee and a guy like Roy Halladay, and they swing early.
With a low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Highest percentage of strikes, Lee and Halladay, not a surprise.
There you go.
And 1-2 the count. Cliff is slated to start game 2 against the Pirates. So the rotational layout: Halladay, game 1, 10th consecutive opening day for Roy. Then Cliff Lee. That's after an off day. Even though the series is basically a weekend series, they build the off day on Friday just in case they can't get the opener in. And then Vance Worley on Sunday. Cole Hamels is slated to start the opener at home. And the thought behind that is that Cole has been around the block a few times, so he can handle everything that's about opening day. There's a lot that goes on, obviously, before the game, a lot of distractions. And a call, strike 3, second strikeout.
That's Lee right there. I mean, the hitter, McNerney, who's also a catcher, doesn't think that's a strike today. But that's what Lee lives on when he's on, is he doesn't get the ball in the middle of the plate. Right there on the outside corner. And McNerney takes it for a strike. Now he's back there thinking, I don't know if that's a strike for my guy or not.
1 away, and we go back to the top of the order for Alex Presley. Presley reached on a walk his first time up, and he takes a strike, and Cliff is now firing some strikes.
I wonder how many times this guy in his lifetime has gone through stages of being called Elvis.
I'm sure that might have been a nickname when he was a kid.
Has to.
0-2 the count. The Kings had himself a good spring for the Pirates, as we mentioned. Rich Doobie was looking at some film of Presley the other day in preparation for him being on the opening day roster and being in the opening day lineup. That's the thing. I mean, we were still 10 days away from going north, and he's looking at film of some of the players that potentially could be in that opening series. And a called strike 3 again. 3 strikeouts for Lee. Back-to-back looking strikeouts.
And he's starting to get in some spots that he likes now. He just threw a slider before that. Now he comes with a fastball. Probably got a little bit of the plate there, but still enough that he evidently just froze Presley. Yeah, it's nice for Rich Doobie too, who does all that preparation, and be able to be watching the team in person that you're going to play on opening day. That doesn't happen that often.
Here's Josh Harrison, and Harrison pulls the first pitch toward the hole, or is there. Can he make the throw in time to get Josh Harrison? That's 4 plays in 2 days by Pete Orr that have been remarkable from the shortstop position. Pirates go down in order. Phillies are on top 2-0. We go to the bottom of the third here at Bright House Field, and then, well, obviously, Cliff Lee is excited about it. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyDealer.com. Phillies are up 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. Cliff Lee has been good. Pete Orr defensively the last 2 days. He's been remarkable at shortstop.
Can he make these plays? Well, he made them all yesterday. And now this is another tough one where he's got to circle it, throw on the run, make an accurate throw. And that will open some eyes in the scouts behind home plate about the way he's playing shortstop. Talk about that. We had a little chat about that before the game, and some of them were very impressed on that play.
Well, Pete Orr has played 9 games in his career at shortstop. Most of his games have been at second base, 115 games, but he did come up as a shortstop.
Right.
He just didn't play it that often in the big leagues.
Well, it's been an amazing revelation to watch him make plays like that, because we didn't even know that he could play a major league shortstop, let alone make those kind of plays 2 days in a row.
Plus, he's a great guy, too. You hope the best for somebody like that.
He is a nice person.
Here's Chris LaRue in for Chris Resop. LaRue, 12.79 earned run average. He'll face the top of the Phillies order. Victorino taps it foul, and it's 0-1.
We'll start calling him Ozzy before long. At the Wizard.
Well, he made 3 plays yesterday. One, the umpire called the runner safe at first. And I talked to Pete yesterday about it, and I told him, I said, the replay showed that he was out. I said, that was a heck of a play. He goes, yeah, I went back and looked at it. And he said it was a close play.
Yeah. I get on the umpires in spring training.
Shallow center field. Harrison, the shortstop, is there. 1 away.
Unless you need spring training when getting on umpires.
Well, some might need it.
Some could. Yeah. Some have sworn off.
Some are lying. Larry Anderson said he's swearing off arguing with umpires on the air.
Sure.
Here's Placido Polanco, who singled home the first run for the Phillies. Polanco 11 for 23, and he takes a strike. By the way, Wheels, we've been given a confirmation on that play earlier. Mike McConey, who's the Phillies' official scorer back home, as Polanco lays off. I've been texting him back and forth, and he said the umpire must have called that play before it happened. Otherwise, there would have been an out recorded.
Right. That's what you and I were talking about between innings, because I couldn't figure out why they didn't call an out. If you're going to call that, normally the runner is out, not sent back. Called it before it happened, meaning before he even threw it, or just as it began to happen?
As he saw it, and then he called it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's what Clint Hurdle wanted to know, too, what's going on here.
Swing and a miss. It's 2-2.
He didn't want it either way. He'd rather have had it the way that it was, but he didn't, lose the inning there. Thanks, Mike.
Polanco pops a foul between the Pirates' dugout. And it should be out of play, and it is off the roof. Over to third. Pedro Alvarez is there. Throws out Polanco. That's part of the reason why the Pirates are going to stick with Alvarez, because they say that his defense has not been affected at all by his struggles at the plate. They say he's a very good defensive third baseman. He's a big dude, too.
Yeah, well, those are really good actions there. You see, he kept everything low, his hands out in front of him. Crow hop and a strong throw. Everything was perfect.
Here's Hunter Pence. He flied out his first time up, and it's 0-1. Off the glove of LaRue. He lost his glove. That is how ferocious that ball left the bat of Hunter Pence. He knocked the glove right off of LaRue, and then Navarro was there to clean it up. So 1-4-3 and a throbbing hands. The putout is complete. We go to the fourth. With MLB.com at bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, or Android. Get spring training scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Phillies.com for details. Top of the fourth, it's 2-0 Phillies. Gary Matthews has settled in, folks, so get ready. He's got his binoculars ready.
Gotta have them. Never know who's in the bullpen, Tom. Who's going to be pitching next?
Daniel McCutchen, by the way, is loosening up for the Pirates. As Jose Tabata takes upstairs from Cliff Lee. That's the first time today Lee has thrown a ball out of the strike zone to start a batter off. There's McCutchen.
I actually saw him pitching yesterday to his son Jackson, and I talked with him today, and he says he hit off of his dad, and he couldn't believe his dad hit him in the foot, not once, but twice. Hit him twice.
1-1 the count. Swing and a miss. Good off speed pitch. It's 1-2.
So it makes him so difficult. The arm motion.
You think Jackson's buying into that too?
Oh no, he was upset. he was visibly upset.
But you're right. The arm motion on all his pitches is what makes him so difficult to pick up.
Well, he's difficult to pick up. He pounds the strike zone, not afraid. Almost throws too many strikes, if you will.
Ground ball to third. He got him way out in front. Nice hop for Polanco. Smooth pickup by Tomey. One away.
Those are the kind of plays you want to see Tomey make, and those are the kind of plays you like to see tested. That'll make him feel a lot better, being able to pick a ball right out of the dirt.
All right, we haven't seen much of him, but his actions look good over at first.
Actions look good, and when you look at him set up, you can tell because he's moving his feet. You got to move your feet. Always easier, though, on that little short pickup. That one easier than the long one to be able to kind of corral.
Andrew McCutchen goes after the first pitch. And Freddie Galvis has to move a few steps to his right. 2 outs. All right, now this is a play a Major League first baseman should make, but Jim Thome again is making the transition back to first.
Making it back there, and these are the kind of plays that make them feel comfortable, though. And that's what you want, though. You want to be able to be over there and feel comfortable that you can pick any ball as opposed to it coming over. You harden your hands, it hits your glove, and it's almost like you have a goat head in it where it pushes that ball right out.
You mean the goat head pushes the ball out?
That's right. I used to tell Carlos Delgado that all the time. Get the goat head out of the glove.
Did he laugh?
Oh, he didn't think that was really funny.
He's as big as you are, so you better watch out.
And he has a lot of pride, but he knew that offense was his game.
0-1 the count to McGee, and it's 1-1. When you looked at him at first, did you wonder how he ever caught?
It was an awful glove that he had. I mean, Usually you soften your gloves up when you're using them. His glove got harder as it went on.
Ball is low, and it's 2-1 to Casey McGee, who doubled his first time up.
Tremendous hitter, though, Carlos Delgado, one of the better hitters I've ever had to be able to kind of stay out of his way.
Well, most home runs ever by a native of Puerto Rico. I mean, that says a lot for some of the talent that's come out of Puerto Rico. Ground ball to third. Another chance for Polanco. Another chance for Tomey. And this play is a little easier. And another quick inning for Cliff Lee. 1, 2, 3 go the Pirates. 9 in a row set down by Cliff Lee. Jim Tomey getting some action over at first base with the Phils up 2-0. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Quality Plus Ford stores and by WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. Well, the bullpen door has swung open yet again for the Pirates as we begin the bottom of the fourth. The Phillies up 2-0. Daniel McCutchen is the new pitcher for Pittsburgh. McCutchen takes over for Chris LaRue, who took over for Chris Reesop. So 3 pitchers in our first 4 innings. So McCutchen will face Jim Tomey, Lance Nix, Pete Orr for the Phillies. Pirates may have a pretty good idea of what's going on with their starting rotation, even with the injury to A.J. Burnett. The bullpen, we're trying to get that settled too. 6 games this spring for McCutchen. He's 0-1 with a 9.45 earned run average, 6 2/3 so far. Again, you might wonder, well, do the Pirates have a split squad today? They don't, but they've decided not to throw their starter. I think it should have been Jeff Karstens. They decided to hold him and use the bullpen or use guys that need some work because the Phillies will face the Pirates so often in the next 10 days. They don't want to tip their cap or tip their hand to anybody. As Tomey fouls the first pitch into the seats, and it's 0-1. Now, Cliff Lee, of course, will face the Pirates in that second game. But I don't know if Charlie's or Rich Dubier is concerned about that. Everybody knows Cliff Lee.
A veteran pitcher, he knows his style of pitching. It doesn't really matter. I mean, he's not coming up with any new pitches, Cliff Lee. He's just trying to perfect where he's throwing the ball. Now, you look at a guy like Joe Blanton, who's come up with that slow curveball. He wouldn't want to pitch against the Pittsburgh Pirates and show him a new pitch. Doesn't think it matters as much on the guys that aren't coming up with a new pitch at all. You know, they know that Cliff Lee's going to come at them. They know he does have a breaking ball, so it's nothing new for them, as if you're going to be bringing a new pitch.
Outside 2-2. Daniel McCutchen last year 84 2/3 innings out of the bullpen. It was the first year that he was used primarily as a relief pitcher for the Pirates, and he'll be in that same kind of role this year, as long as his numbers this spring don't scare the Pirates away. Tommy checks, and it's 3-2.
Well, in that 3, 4, 5 spot, you expect for guys, Tom, to drive in runs. Those are the type of hitters on your team that won't be sacrificing a lot, if any, during the course of the season.
Outside, ball 4, Tommy aboard.
Good at that.
And that'll bring Lance Nix to the plate. He grounded out his first time up.
Same situation for him during the course of the season. If he's hitting in that 5th spot, expected to drive in runs. Different places that you are in the order kind of dictate what you're going to do as a player.
There's a strike at the knees. It's 0-1.
That's why it's so great to have a balanced ball club, meaning left and right-handed, power and speed. And all those players, obviously, you want to be able to play good defense.
In the dirt, gets away from McHenry, and Toby's going to go up to second. I assume that's a wild pitch to McCutchen. Phillies have a runner in scoring position, so an RBI opportunity for Nix.
Small thing, but ends up being a big thing in the course of the game. Had his momentum, Tommy did, going into second base, as opposed to just flat-footed looking at the ball. When you're on base, you want to anticipate that ball being in the dirt. Makes it easier to get to the next base.
But then be quick enough to get back to the bag if you need to.
Yeah, well, he was reading that one too all the way, but you're right about that.
Well, Nix is down on strikes, so 1 out here in the 4th. And that'll bring Pete Orr to the plate. Orr struck out his first time up. McHenry did a nice job there, and Tommy holds up at second. 1-0 the count.
Got in front of that, not really trying to catch it, just trying to stop it. Watch how the catcher moves his feet. See there, he just puts that glove down as it's trying to get through the 5 hole. He's just trying to block it, not really trying to catch it.
Ball's looped towards center field. It's a long run for everyone, and McCutchen's not going to get there. Tommy holds up at third. He hesitated for a moment and then gauged whether McCutchen would get there and realized he didn't.
That's a great read, though. You know, you can't take off on that particular ball. The fielder's going to be fast enough, and McCutchen to get up to catch that ball in center field. But take a look at it. This is how you're running the bases there. You don't have to be a fast base runner to be a good one. You see, he made his mind up. That ball was still in the air.
Yeah.
As Samuel tells him, hey, right here on the bag. That's the way he'll do. Point there, meaning stay there on that bag. That ball is coming in.
So the Phillies have a chance. Runners on first and third. 1 out here in the 4th. Brian Schneider's the hitter. Schneider grounded out his first time up. Orr leads off first. And Schneider takes low. It's 1-0.
Not having an exceptionally good spring, but he does know that he'll be the backup catcher. Just trying to stay healthy.
It's that one off the end of the bat. Base hit it to left field. Tommy will score easily, and the Phillies lead it 3-0. Not a whole lot to that swing, but it was enough to drive in the run.
Yeah, I think if you look at the location of that pitch where it was pitched, he kind of almost hit it exactly where it was pitched. Ball appeared to be going away from him. See how he reaches out there and hits that ball the other way? That same pitch, you try and pull, guarantee you get a ground ball right back to the pitcher or the second baseman.
So runners on first and second, one out for Galvis, who struck out looking his first time up. Let's see if Freddie can get the job done here with Lee on deck.
Now I'm looking again, though, just for a line drive and trying to keep that ball.
There's a spinner to shortstop. They may not be able to turn two. Wow, that was a nice play by Navarro. He tried to get that throw over to first by barehanding the toss from Harrison.
Well, the good thing, too, though, he does have good speed. Hard to double up Freddie, though, but you'd like for him to be maybe having a little bit more patience there. That was the very first pitch. Give himself a chance to get a good pitch there, and the more the count goes, because you have the pitcher coming up, they will more than likely give you a good pitch to hit.
Yeah, Carlos Ruiz was such a good 8-hole hitter for the Phillies, and to start the year, he's not going to be in the 8-hole. It'll probably be Galvis. So, he'll do a lot if he can figure out how Ruiz was successful in that spot. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, yeah, but it takes time, though, to learn. I thought Ruiz actually learned how to hit in that spot and realizing how valuable it is to make sure you get the pitcher up as opposed to having him lead off. Does have decent speed, though, and can steal a base.
To the right side, pretty good hurdle by Galvis. Does not bother Navarro. He throws out the hustling Lee. And the side is retired. The Phillies settle for one on the RBI single by Brian Schneider. So Cliff Lee has a 3-run lead to work with as we go to the 5th. Phillies are up 3-0 as we go to the top of the 5th. We've showed Frenchie's Tiki Bar quite often while we're down here in Clearwater. Well, Greg Murphy's going to give us a bird's eye view of what's going on out there. Murph?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, guys, I can't believe it took me this long to get up to Frenchie's Tiki Pavilion. It may be the best seat in the house. I found some folks from the Northeast. Tom is with me. Well, first of all, I showed you around a little bit, right, guys? I showed you Frenchie's. These four were in Frenchie's this morning, now sitting here in the Tiki Pavilion, and it might be the best seat in the house, right?
I think it is. I think that's why it's so crowded every single home game. There's no place better to be than at Frenchie's Tiki Pavilion.
You got you got everything here. You got the drinks, you got everything going on. And guys, just to let you know, I told the bartenders that Sarge is buying the next round for everybody. So wow. That's what happens when you're buying around.
Hey.
Back upstairs, guys. Thanks, Sarge. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Murph. Make sure somebody's leaving the tip.
Sarge is very benevolent of you to be out there buying everybody a drink.
I got to tell you, though, it's a nice place to be, boy, but you got a lot of fans out there. They don't let you buy a drink out there.
Really?
Very nice. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Very nice.
Buy a bucket of beers.
Yeah.
There's Navarro. He takes a strike. It's 0-1. That's a pretty good day. Those folks who were at Lenny's this morning, and now they're at the Frenchie's Tiki Bar. They may be at Frenchie's later on tonight, down by the beach.
They have it out there.
Navarro fouls it away. It's 0-2. Cliff Lee is firing strikes this afternoon, folks. He's retired 9 straight. He's allowed 1 hit. That was a double. That was in the second.
Has a lot of pride about his game. Really loves to pitch. Obviously, you can tell that when he takes the mound every 5th day.
.61 pitches so far for Lee. That he's on pace to go at least 6 this afternoon, if not 7. And time is called by Navarro. Navarro was at one point a top 10 prospect in the Red Sox organization. Wound up with Kansas City last year and then acquired by the Pirates. He had .264 last year in Kansas City in their AAA and the Red Sox AAA in Pawtucket. Stays alive and it remains 1-2.
That's how the Pirates kind of do it, though. They always seem to go out and get other teams' #1 player, kind of journeyman type player. McCutcheon, one of the guys that they've actually brought up through the organization and that have kind of molded the way that they would like.
That ball's hit to shortstop, or has it? Navarro's retired, and another guy, Pedro Alvarez, who's come through their system, is due up next for the Pirates. You always have to have homegrown guys, don't you?
You have to, in order to be able to win, and then you hope to get lucky the way the Fighting Fields did, where you're able to bring up J. Rowe and Utley and Howard, and they're almost, staying the same kind of guys. But now you have a core, stable players there. Now you can bring in some of your other players like a Jason Worth or along with a Victorino. It makes it easier for your team to win.
Yeah, those are the guys I think that you can get fortunate with. Guys like Victorino and Worth. I mean, Victorino was a Rule 5 selection. Phillies talked into staying with the organization. Folks who watch him play think, well, he is a Phillies guy. Like, he's come through the system.
Right.
And Worth was a guy who was, kind of on his last rope.
Well, you're right about that, to his credit, with the years that he put up. And you know what? I don't think he put those kind of numbers up with every single club. It has to be a certain club, and this was a great mix for him with the way that you always had runners on.
Alvarez fouls it away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Alvarez. Well, I think that if you look at the success of, let's say, the Yankees, when Joe Torre was the manager, and even Girardi now, Jeter, Mariano Rivera, Andy Pettit, guys like that, Jorge Posada, those are homegrown guys, and they filled in around it.
Yeah.
For the Phillies, it's the same. You have Utley, you have Howard, Hamels, Rollins, and then you fill in around that. Ruiz, and that leads to the success. Matson before he went on to Cincinnati.
Right, and then what the Fighting Fields have done is actually taken it another step. They've gone out and got the pitching staff that you need to be able to win with year in and year out. Now, you can't count on guys obviously getting hurt, but having the pitching will still keep you around even if you have guys that are hurt, until you can figure things out. They always seem to do that during the course of the season. One thing we do know, however, season will start on time, regardless if the players are ready or not.
Ball was just fouled by Alvarez. It remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Phillies lead at 3-0. They scored 2 in the first, 1 in the fourth. 2 in the first on RBIs by Placido Polanco and Jim Thome, and then 1 in the fourth on an RBI by Brian Schneider. One is a liner to center field, and Alvarez is aboard with his first hit of the day and only his 5th hit this spring.
That's amazing. It really does seem amazing to me, just with the way that he went out and hit this ball there up the middle. A little inside out type of swing. He seems to be aggressive there at the plate, not pulling off the ball. But not seeing him every day, hard to judge, but he seems to have a pretty good swing.
So now Matt Haig, who's flied out to right, and a fine play by Hunter Pence. Swing and a miss at a changeup. Lee has started a number of hitters off with that fastball, and he comes back and throws a changeup to Haig.
That's a great pitch. Great pitch because, again, all of his pitches are almost around the same type of area, too. He throws the ball down in the zone. There's one right there.
So you go back with it again. It's 2 in a row.
Yeah, well, now he can elevate, come out of the zone with it. But a lot of times for Cliff Lee, he's trying to put some of these guys away and goes right at them. Therefore, you end up getting hurt throwing too many strikes. You can get the hitter to swing at a ball that's not in the zone.
There you go. That one was up a little bit. Pence is there. He's not going to leave his feet on this one. 2 outs, and the runner back to first. Well, the Houston Astros will visit Philadelphia for their first and only time during the regular season on Monday, May 14th. That's Teva Respiratory Asthma Awareness Night, a free Phillies Liberty Bell cap for all fans. Then Tuesday the 15th is a Citizens Bank Business Person Special and a Model Sporting Goods Senior Stroll the Bases for fans 55 and over. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets today.
Keep mentioning me about strolling those bases, don't you? I mean,
no, it's just a coincidence that you're on when we do that promo.
Is it?
Yeah.
Or setup.
McHenry launches one to deep right, but playable for Pence. Side is retired, no runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. Phillies are strolling back to the dugout. Phillies lead at 3-0 in front of a sold-out crowd here at Bright House Field. That's down the left field line. And Joel Hanrahan just came in from the left field bullpen. Hanrahan pitching here in the 5th against the top of the order, Victorino, Placido Polanco, and Hunter Pence. So far, 6 games, a 3.00 earned run average for Hanrahan. And he delivers a strike. It's 0-1. Hanrahan was part of last year's All-Star team, representing the National League. He's a hard thrower, originally from the Dodgers organization. Made his way to the Nationals, and of course is now with the Pirates. And he's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Hanrahan last year for the Pirates had 40 saves and a 1.83 earned run average.
Wow. Victorino tells you, it shows you why he's so valuable. A guy you can put in different spots. He's been hitting 3rd most of the time this spring. Can lead off. He can hit 2nd. We've seen him hit 6th. One of those guys that it seems that it doesn't matter where you put him in the lineup. However, though, if he's in that leadoff spot, you want him to be able to score runs during the course of the season, preferably right around 100.
He lifts that to right center field. McCutcheon could fly, and he gets there as the ball sliced back toward him. And there's one away here in the 5th. Yeah, Shane has filled in as the leadoff hitter with Rollins being out the last couple of years and has done so without really missing a beat. And you know what? Let's face it. There may be a time where Jimmy has to slide down a little bit if the Phillies need a little more pop in the middle of the order, and they can put Victorino on the leadoff spot. Not that they want to do that.
Yeah, good point. Well, then again, though, you can always flip-flop them, or if you give J-Ro a day off, you can put definitely Victorino at first base, the leadoff spot.
Here's Placido Polanco. 1 for 2 with an RBI. Phillies up 3-0. Alvarez tried to pick that short hop. And Polanco will be aboard. That's do or die. If he got it, he had him at first. So
yeah, he kind of olayed that for me. Ball not hit as hard as the one that Pence ended up hitting to Cabrera. But catching it from the side like that, for me, you play that ball into an error. And take a look at it as he comes in. For me, if you can, you come in a little bit quicker than that. Easier said than done. Top spin on that ball, however.
Manny Abreu is the pinch runner for the Phils. He'll take over for Polanco. They do score that an error, by the way, against Alvarez. And it's no balls and 1 strike to Hunter Pence. Pence is 0 for 2 today.
A lot of these pitchers now aren't throwing him those first pitch strikes, and he's a guy that notorious for staying on anything that is thrown hard, whether or not it's up in the zone or down in the zone, in or out.
Abreu goes. McHenry's throw is high, and Abreu swipes second.
You like that? Keep tacking on. The way you do that is by sending a runner. And good pitch, breaking ball that he actually stole on. At first slide, made it with no problem. Still a little bit behind on some of those pitches there. This is the week, however, you want guys to start to really kind of tone in on their hitting. They have a lot of confidence once they leave Florida.
There goes Abreu to third. The pitch is in the dirt. He's going to swipe third. Is that on his own?
I would think so, yes. And one good thing, too, though, when you're on second base, you can actually see kind of the grip of the ball or the way he's going to be able to throw it or pick up the side. He stole on a breaking ball, which was in the dirt. Straight steal, you know that. Didn't kind of look back at all. But that, again, is big when you're able to do that. And hopefully this is what you'll see during the season as the infield is brought in.
Well, that's why it's big. Pence has the infield in. They're going on contact. Alvarez has Abreu in a rundown. McHenry back to Alvarez, and they apply the tag. Pence is safe at first, and there are 2 outs.
First baseman, Jim Tomey.
So Abreu was going on contact. That's not his fault.
No, it doesn't matter where that ball is hit. You're supposed to go. And it's just almost no chance to go. Now check out that runner down in the lower box there. And you can see he had no chance, even though Abreu does have speed. Once he gets into the rundown, it's pretty simple from there as he's on the bench and a little out of breath.
That'll bring Jim Tomey to the plate, and Tomey takes way upstairs. But you like to see that, Sarge. Maybe steal a couple bags, get in scoring position, get to third with less than 2 outs.
Try and get an extra run, because you're not going to be able to just get them on the home run. So by using your legs, at least he was in position to be able to do that. Got to be able to tack on runs. You know, you might as well get used to it because it would appear that they're going to have a lot of close games this year, just the way things have been going. So the opportunities that present themselves, you want to be able to deliver.
Tomey lines it toward right. That's going to drop in for a hit. Navarro is going to throw to first. Forget about the hit. It'll go 4-3 on the putout. Now what are you going to do? Navarro got to it quickly. Tomey doesn't run all that well, and he was able to have the presence of mind to throw him out. On a normal alignment, that's going to be a base hit for anyone. Yep. Navarro reacted well to throw Tomey out, and he threw him out by a few steps. So the side is retired. The Phillies leave one. We go to the sixth. It's still 3-0 Phils. Gary, there's another style that you could put in your allotment of hats if you choose when we wear a red shirt.
Well, that would be a little bit difficult getting it in the hat box.
Scott Pasetic is in right field for the Phillies. One of 3 changes for the Phils as we start the 6th. That is true. That'd be tough to put in the hat box, Sarge.
Yeah. Put it in the hat box, all of a sudden it starts to take off on you, then you have a little problem.
Pete Orr is over at third. He moves from shortstop to third. Abreu stays in the game to play short. 0-1 the count to Alex Presley, and it's 0-2 now. Presley today is 0 for 1. You imagine bringing your hat box that size to the garage where we're ready to go on a trip?
Oh, boy.
What do you got in here? Your clubs? No, just a hat.
Oh, boy.
Couldn't wear that hat to, let's say, Chicago or somewhere like that. It would be too windy.
Listen, I don't think you can wear that hat anywhere except for where it is, and that's here at this ballpark.
1-2 pitch. On the hands, behind the bag. Abreu can't get there. And that's a base hit for Alex Presley. But maybe it would hang up there for him to make the catch.
I don't understand how you can hit a ball that soft. I mean, just flared right on out there. It's a hit, though.
Well, Josh Harrison's now the batter. That's only the 3rd hit allowed by Lee this afternoon. He allowed a hit in the 2nd, 1 in the 5th, and 1 here in the 6th. Harrison's 0 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice. This is Kyle Kendrick. He'll be the next pitcher for the Phillies. In the dirt, 1-0 the count. Phillies are scheduled to use Kendrick today, as well as Jonathan Papelbon. I believe Michael Stutz was on the list of pitchers to be used today.
All the decisions still have not been made yet. looking to shore up the bullpen. Sure, there's some utility spots that they're still going to be fighting for.
Yeah, the Phillies announced today that Scott Ellerton, who's had a decent spring, and Brian Sanchez have been reassigned to the minor league camp, and that Jake Diekman was optioned to minor league camp. Now, the difference is reassigned means they're not on the 40-man. Option means they're on the 40-man. This should be 2. There's 1. There's 2.
Wow. Boy, those are good arms all the way around. Boy. Pitcher's best friend there, little Hammond-Ed's going to turn these right over. Look at this throw. Boy, that makes you not only get down, but I'll break Tomey's glove in over at first base.
Abreu showed a pretty good arm right there.
Oh, boy.
Tabata is now the hitter. He's 0 for 2. He's popped out to second. He's grounded to third. You make yourself laugh, Sarge? Flipping those ham and eggs over.
Oh, boy.
I think you're making some other folks laugh, too. That's right. Wheels does that sometimes. He doesn't press the cough button when he starts to laugh. It's just out of nowhere.
Oh, boy.
1-1 the count.
Well,
you authors.
Oh.
Tabata is making the switch from left field to right field this year for the Pirates. At the knees, and it's 1-2.
Boy, he just gets it and throws. I mean, he's ready to go just about all the time.
Roller to third. Pedor stays down on it. And that's 6 in the books for Cliff Lee, and the guy that just caught the throw, Jim Thome. So Lee has been outstanding through 6 today. Phillies have a 3-run lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Baseball is brought to you by Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. Call 1-800-JEFF now for an appointment. And by Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. Phillies are up 3-0. Saw an outstanding pitching performance today by Cliff Lee through 6. Now, he may or may not be done. We saw Kyle Kendrick warming up. Nick Evans comes on to play right field for the Pirates. We have a new left fielder as well for Pittsburgh. Pirates also flip-flop their middle infielders. Harrison goes to second base and Navarro goes to shortstop. So they're trying to get them both work at both positions. And the new left fielder is Jake Fox. There he is. And the 5th pitcher of the day will be Igarashi, who we saw with the Mets previously. No wins, no losses, an 8.64 earned run average. And he'll face Lance Nix to start it off, and Nix greets him with a ball that's smoked to the gap in right center field. That'll go to the wall. And Lance Nix is going to start the 6th with a leadoff double.
Good fastball hitter. Nix doesn't really wait around. Well, most hitters, though, in the major leagues, you want to be that, have the reputation of being a fastball hitter. Whatever you do, don't throw on the strike. First pitch, fastball. As he goes down to get that one, driving it in the gap. Same situation here for Orr. You want to make sure that you get that ball over. If you end up making it out, make it on the right side.
Well, Pete Orr's 1 for 2 today. He singled his last time up. Well, he's trying to tack on here. They lead it 3-0. And Orr slips it into left field, a base hit. Nix will be held at third. Oh, it's bobbled by Fox, and Nix is going to score. Orr didn't stop. He's on his way to second, and the Phillies lead it 4-0.
Yeah, good base running there all the way around. Although Nix there, third base coming there. Sammy started waving him. He was actually going to be looking back. Never take it for granted. Keep your eye right there on the coach. He's your eyes and will let you know. Ball booted, you keep going. Exactly what he did. Take a look at it as he comes in there. That ball just eats him up. Hits him right there in the middle. Now watch this here as he looks back. Well, Sammy's already waving him. Didn't have to look back, but made it easy.
Oh, it's an error for Jake Fox. It's the second error of the game for the Pirates. And it's a single, no RBI for Pete Orr. But he's in scoring position with nobody out for Schneider. Schneider's 1 for 2. He singled home and run his last time up. Line drive caught. McGee fires to second. The double play is in order.
Yep, not good base running. We talked about that before. Line drive that's hit. You know what you do. You got to freeze. Therefore, if that ball's caught, you're able to get back to second base. Or actually was taking some steps and actually almost running toward third base. Too late to be able to make it back.
So 2 outs here in the 6th. Freddie Galvis is the hitter. And Igarashi is ready.
He should almost take a pitch or first pitch and not swing at the first
every
pitch
time
with the pitcher coming up.
Okay.
I mean, you want to go on and work that count.
Just to give the pitcher a reprieve or work out a walk.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're trying to get on base, obviously, but that's one of the things that Carlos Ruiz did there. He was able not only to take pitches, but also to square up pitches that were strikes.
Over to the hole, off the glove of the diving Harrison. Galvis will be aboard with his first hit of the day.
Very
18th
nice.
hit overall.
Very nice. The more hits he gets, the more confidence he's going to get. And you can tell, I mean, the fight feels they're pushing him now to be able to be there with the injuries. Chase Utley and others.
Well, he does indeed turn the lineup over, and Lee gets a chance to hit. So Lee is up in the 6th. Now, he still may not pitch the 7th. Kendrick is warming up. They may just want him to hit, which is not odd because Lee loves to hit.
Yeah, and not only that, though, you want your pitchers now to start to see pitches from live pitchers, making sure that, you know, they're able to have some timing. These guys take a lot of pride in getting runners over and base hits.
Well, there you go. That one's over the head of Fox all the way to the wall. Galvis can run on his way to third. He'll be held there. It's a double for Cliff Lee. First hit of the spring for Lee. Probably not the last of the year.
Tell you what, I know the pitchers had a little bit of a contest on hits, doubles, home runs, and so on. I would have to think here's your winner right there. He drives the ball over the left fielder's head. That ball hit hard, though. He just doesn't go up and just slaps the ball around. We've seen him before. He drives the ball. Good athlete. I'm sure Jackson, his son, was looking at that particular hit.
Well, here is Shane Victorino. It's 1 for 3. Phillies up 4-0. They have runners on second and third.
Be a big 2-out hit, almost break the game open.
Jim Thome's day may be done. We'll see. He's played 6 innings of first base today. Over there, he's saying? Over there?
Oh, he is. Yeah, well, Charlie talking, hitting again.
Over to first base. McGee takes the hop. Igarashi is there to cover. And the inning comes to a close. The Phillies leave 2 in scoring position. They do, however, tack on another run. We've completed 6 on to the 7th. Cliff Lee, first hit of the spring in the books. Phillies up by 4.
Win a game with Cliff Lee on the mound, get an early lead. That's just what they did today. Placido Polanco with an RBI hit in the first inning, and then the guy that the manager calls Big Tomes, Jim Thome, with a double to right center field, scoring another run right there as Polanco scores, and the Phillies had a quick 2-0 lead. They built it up to 4, and Cliff Lee gave them a tremendous 6 innings here this afternoon. They're going to turn it over to Kyle Kendrick as we look at the game summary. Chris Reesop started today. He's a relief pitcher, started the game. Phillies got a couple off him. You see the hits by the Bucks thus far. Jim Thome with the RBI double, and Cliff Lee, well, he was dealing.
He was. He only walked one batter, and he'll leave after his double. And taking over in left field is Juan Pierre. So he's in the ball game for Lance Nix. Luis Montañez is in center field. Ty Wigginton comes on to play first base for Jim Thome.
Notice a lot of the regular players. By regular players, I mean guys that are going to be on the club, bench players. They don't have a lot of minor league guys over here today. So that lends you to believe that certain guys probably won't be going tomorrow all the way down to Fort Myers, and they're going to get a lot of at-bats today.
Kyle Kendrick in his 4th game this spring. Kendrick's been good. In fact, he has started a couple. He worked his first one out of the bullpen. His role is kind of as a swingman, but his role is also ever evolving in the Phillies bullpen. That's partly because his pitches continue to evolve. Facing Andrew McCutchen, and it's 0-2.
Uses cutter well this spring. His changeup, pitching some split squad games, so we really haven't seen him here in this ballpark a whole lot.
You know, I asked him about the cutter and his other pitches. I said, have you changed your grip? Have you done something different? He said, no. He goes, I think I'm just getting more and more used to throwing them. I'm throwing them better than I have been in past years. That one just missed. Not a bad spot. It's 1-2.
There's that little comeback sinker that Worley throws so well. Well, and another thing, when a guy pitches as much as Kendrick has now, I think he's starting to believe in himself a little more.
That one's back towards shortstop, and Abreu's there. Better hurry that throw. Not in time. He took too much time.
He didn't get out of his glove. And McCutcheon, to his credit, even in an exhibition game, he was busting down that line on a routine ground ball to short, and he gets something out of it. Reaches in, didn't get it the first time, just that split second, and easiest thing in the game to do, run the ball out.
Well, he's aboard for Casey McGee. McGee's 1 for 2. He doubled his last time up. Having himself a good spring, hitting nearly 300 now. Line drive to center, right at Montañez. Now, Phillies opening week is right around the corner. Now, April 9th might be sold out, but it doesn't mean you'll miss out on everything else going on. Thursday the 12th at 7:05, the Marlins will be in town. That's a Hatfield Dollar Dog Night. Then Friday the 13th, kick off the first weekend of the season when the New York Mets are in Philadelphia. Go to Phillies.com for ticket information and to purchase. By the way, the events surrounding opening day, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on around the ballpark. In fact, DJ Jazzy Jeff Wheels will be doing some DJing before the opener at Citizens Bank Park. Not too shabby. The Fresh Prince will not be there, though. Although, you know what? He has been in town for some Sixers games.
Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Yeah.
I knew that one.
DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Is that Will Smith?
It is. Got a new movie coming out.
I'm done.
That's
it. You keep going.
I would have won the count to Navarro.
Once in a while I can add a few things on those topics, and then there's a point where it's over.
Will Smith Wheels played what boxing icon in a movie?
Man,
you had to see this movie.
I don't see many, but
saw Dolphin Tale.
No, Renee did.
Oh, okay. All right, maybe I should ask Renee what movie he played, what boxing icon he played.
Probably. You mean a real fighter?
Yes.
Not like
greatest of all time.
The greatest of all time?
Yeah.
Well, that's subjective.
I know. I don't think it is, Wills. Muhammad Ali.
Well,
he was in Ali.
It would have been my answer, but you know, I know some other people don't agree with that.
Navarro was hit by that pitch.
I've heard a lot of boxing fans argue that stuff all the time.
Yeah, my grandfather used to argue that all the time.
Sure.
Too.
A lot of people would say Rocky Marciano, you know, guys like that. And
Sugar Ray Robinson.
Sugar
Ray Leonard.
Floyd Patterson. Oh, elbow shot. Ouch.
Well, Navarro's taking his time going to first base. He'll be looked at by the Pirates athletic trainer.
Think of the fighters from the Philadelphia area you talk about.
Smoking Joe.
The great Joe Frazier. There's the ball hitting him right on the elbow. The great Joe Frazier just dying, yeah, recently.
I think Clint Hurdle may take Navarro out of the ball game.
That one had to hurt.
So the Pirates will put in a pinch runner for Navarro.
He's got a lot of guys in that dugout with 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s that he can use right now and let him get iced up.
Well, I believe that we will see number 74, Kurt Singer. And that is indeed the youngster who is coming out. He'll stretch himself out a little bit.
Third baseman, Pedro Alvarez.
Pedro Alvarez takes a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate for a strike. Alvarez is 1 for 2. Not a bad spot right there, boy, right on the inside part of the plate.
Yeah, guys don't like it in there when it's on their hands like that. You know, left-handed hitters love it in, down and in, but not necessarily where that pitch was.
Oh, to the count to Alvarez.
Oh,
trying to get that one to come back on the inner half. 1-2. Garrett Jones is out of the on-deck circle for the Pirates. Garrett Jones will probably split some time over at first base this year. Not play the outfield as often. Called strike 3. Ball kind of came back on the outside part of the plate. I don't think Alvarez gave up on it as much as most hitters, but he was fooled.
Kyle Kendrick trying to trust his stuff. No, almost looked like it was a fastball away, and he just took it.
So now Garrett Jones. He'll hit for Matt Haig. Haig was 0 for 2 today. Jones this spring has 3 home runs and 13 runs batted in. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
Kendrick is he's so much better now moving the ball around and staying out of the middle of the plate. And left-handed hitters used to just absolutely kill him.
Yeah, they were less than 300 against him last year.
He really improved last year, and that's a thing that will make him a better major league pitcher if he can get some left-handed hitters out. Right-handers he does pretty well against them.
Runners lead off first and second. Tied up Garrett Jones.
They hate that pitch. That's what I was talking about earlier. You talk to guys that hit left-handed, and they'll tell you the guys they hate are the right-handers that cut it in on their hands. Down, it's no problem because they like. But watch this thing come cutting right in on his hands. Tough pitch to handle.
1-2 the count. Down and in, 2-2. Good speed at second base, and Andrew McCutcheon. Singer over at first base. He stole just 8 bases last year at State College. Didn't play for Penn State, Wills.
No.
Both runners will be off and running.
He's playing that beautiful ballpark there, though.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it's
right
really
in the shadows of the football facility.
Lubrano Field at Medler Park. I forget how they call it, but it's Mr. Lubrano put a lot of money into it. And Chuck Medler was a longtime baseball coach and trainer up there when I was there.
Runners go. Ground ball toward first, a foul ball.
Anthony Lubrano is the benefactor, and Chuck Medler was a longtime Penn State guy.
Well, for a college program, it's a pretty nice field that doubles as a minor league facility.
Beautiful place. And Mount Nittany in the background. You look out from home plate. Who was in there originally? The Cardinals, I think, were in there for a year or two before the Pirates went in.
I think the Cardinals went from North Jersey over to State College.
For 1 year, maybe, or 2.
Runners will go again, and a called strike 3 right toward the outside part of the plate. He not only got Alvarez looking, but he got Garrett Jones looking. Back-to-back lefties go down, just watching it go on by. Tonight at 5 on Daily News Live, Michael Barkett is joined by a few of Philly's top sports writers, plus Greg Murphy will be live from spring training, and they have plenty of stuff to talk about. Watch the best talk of Philly sports on Daily News Live tonight at 5, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Wheels, we have some changes.
Oh, yeah.
For the Pirates. Nate McLouth is in the ball game. He'll play center field for Pittsburgh.
Oh, wait a minute.
Jared Hughes.
What's that all about? He didn't try to hit that guy last inning.
Well, I hope that this big right-hander just was a little wild on that first pitch.
Gee. That got everybody's attention down there in the dugout.
Yeah, popped it up. Right side. Singer's at second base, but McGee's going to call him off. And he makes the catch. So one away here in the seventh. Cliff Lee was outstanding today, and he's going to talk about it right now with Greg Murphy.
Yeah, he certainly was. 6 innings, scoreless. The line looks great. How did you feel out there?
Felt good. You know, just working on locating pitches, trying to build up a pitch count and get ready for a long season.
Probably get one more spring start before we head north. Are you at the point now where you go out and just pitch your game? You pitch like you would pitch in a regular season game, or are you still working on little things?
Pretty much. I mean, you're still working on locating. I don't think that ever goes away, but yeah, it's getting down to the time where you really got to try to get guys out because, you know, in a couple starts, it'll be the real deal. So, yeah, still working on some things, but for the most part, trying to get everyone out.
All right, but most importantly, the double. Take us through it. I mean, you laced that thing.
Yeah, just first pitch fastball. You know, just try to put a good swing on it. Yeah, got a double.
You're being modest. You love it, don't you?
Yeah, hitting's fun. It's the hardest thing to do in sports. I enjoy it. It's a challenge.
All right, thanks, Cliff. Appreciate it. Guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph. Scott Pasetnik reaches on a one-out single to right. It was pretty good. I mean, let's face it. I mean, these guys, they're very athletic, all these pitchers, but I love watching Cliff Lee hit. I really do.
It's like we were talking about in the opening. You know, he just enjoys the game so much and enjoys I think he feels that he can have an advantage on the other guy, especially in this league, when he can do the things that he can do, field his position the way he does and swing the bat. It's like playing 9 on 8.
Ty Wigginton up for the first time, 234 this spring. Runner at first. Let's see if Pasetnik decides to go. He's got a guy on the mound, and Jared Hughes is a big guy. Singer, the new second baseman, signaling over to Harrison, who moved back to shortstop. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Harrison's moved from short to second, now back to second, and back to shortstop. That ball gets away, and that'll enable Pasetnik to go to second base. That'll be the second wild pitch of the afternoon for the Pirates. Hughes' numbers this spring, 4.50 earned run average in 7 games. This is his 8th ball game. To the count. Eric Fryer, by the way, is the catcher for the Pirates. They made that change at the start. So Alvarez, McGee are the only starters still out there, along with Harrison. There's Fryer. And Wigginton is rung up. So 2 outs here in the 7th. And here comes Juan Pierre. Jared Hughes, 6'7", 245 pounds. He'll be pitching with Pasetnik right behind him, leading off second base. Grew up in San Marino, California. Pitched 1 year at Santa Clara University. Was drafted a couple of different times. Pierre taps one towards second. He's hustling up the line, and Singer throws him out. So the Phillies get a runner in scoring position, do not score. We're through 7. Now at Bright House Field, the Phillies on top 4-0 over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. Now we go to the top of the 8th inning here at Bright House Field. And today, Thursday, Saturday, and that's it for the home games here at this beautiful facility. Antonio Bastardo coming back from some arm issues this spring. In his second outing since they shut him down for a couple of days. 7th game overall. He hasn't missed a lot of games. You know, he's gotten his innings in. But he did battle a little dehydration. His velocity was down about 2 weeks ago. Threw pretty well his last time out. 5 2/3 so far. 5 strikeouts for Bastardo.
Well, this is a key to the ball club. One of the keys of the ball club this year at the back end of your bullpen, to have an effective Antonio Bastardo the way he was last year. Struggled a little bit at the end of the year, but this guy was so good. He hardly even gave up a base run for a long period of time last season.
Yeah, lefties were barely scratching anything against him.
Right-handers didn't get on base against him.
By the way, speaking of the Phil's bullpen, Justin DeFreitas threw a bullpen today. That was a great sign. I watched him warming up with Mick Billmeyer. Mick was breaking in a new glove, and it was popping. I mean, it was popping.
That's good to hear because, you know, at the beginning of spring training this year, he was behind everybody with a tender elbow. And anytime you hear they go, uh-oh. But, you know, they brought him along slowly, and it's good to hear that he had a good bullpen today. That kid has a tremendous future.
Nate McLeod takes ball 1. It's 1-0. McLeod over from the Braves, a former Pirate who kind of lost his way once he left Pittsburgh. Braves thought they had a star in center field when they acquired him for the Pirates. For the longest time, McLeod was rumored to be going to the Yankees and roam center field in New York. Well, the Braves won the lottery with him, and it just never worked out. Literally, it never worked out. Why? Who knows?
Who knows? He's a tools guy too. You know, he could really run when he first came up.
Very good defensive player.
Good outfielder. You know, not a guy with a lot of power, but could pop one once in a while.
3-0 the count. And he takes strike 1, 3-1.
Had a walk-off home run against the Phillies a couple years ago there. That was the one where they all left the dugout. And went in the dugout, nobody was there.
So his career numbers, 249 hitter. That average has gone down the last couple of years. Well, but he did have himself a heck of a start to his career with Pittsburgh. And I guess he's hoping as an extra outfielder, because his position when he was with the Pirates is taken right now and will be for a long time. He was a center fielder. Up and in, ball 4. So McLeod is aboard. That trade where McLeod went to the Braves, Pittsburgh got Charlie Morton in that deal, which wasn't a bad trade for the Pirates as it's turned out. Morton had some success last year. Here's Jake Fox. He had a long home run against the Phillies earlier this spring in Bradenton. In Bradenton, there's a school outside the left field fence. I mean, he absolutely crushed it toward that school.
They used to have a right-handed hitter back in the 70s named Richie Zisk. Oh, could he hit him out there? And Stennett, Sanguian.
Yeah.
Oh, the lumber company.
Off the end of the bat, Wigginton will have a play at first. It's a fair ball. He'll tag Fox.
I think Rennie Stennett may still hold the record for most hits in a 9-inning game.
He does.
He does.
Yeah.
Still. Yeah.
I shouldn't say that he does. I shouldn't say it definitively. I'm pretty sure.
6?
Yeah.
6 or 7. I think it was 6. Ronaldo Stennett, Panamanian, who had a terrible terrible ankle injury. It was either 6 or 7 was what he had. So, you know, I don't know. That'd be one of those ones to look up. But for a long time, he held the record for most hits in a 9-inning game.
I believe 7 for 7 wheels was what he was.
7 hits. Okay.
Played for the Pirates from 71 to 79.
He broke his ankle. He was never the same after that. But he and Manny Sanguilla, both Panamanians, and wow, could they hit.
Wheels back on September 16th, 1975. Randy Stennett went 7 for 7 as the Pirates defeated who?
It was at Wrigley Field, wasn't it?
The Chicago Cubs,
Yeah.
22-0. 22-0.
Yeah, they got enough for their pitchers that day.
He was the third player to collect 7 hits in a single game and second to do it in a 9-inning game.
You got to turn a lineup over a lot to have 7 plate appearances in a 9-inning game.
There's Josh Harrison with a runner at second. Harrison pops it up. Shallow right field. Sednick is there. Glasses on. Catch is made. 2 outs.
Right fielder Nick Evans.
Go, Nick.
Who are the other guys that have 7 hits? I know you'll find it.
Wilbert Robertson.
I don't remember that game.
Robinson in the 1800s.
I remember
in a
the
9-inning game.
I remember the Stennett game.
So he's the only other one that's done it in a 9-inning.
Right, 9 innings.
Nick Evans, the hitter, and he takes a breaking ball. Good play by Schneider.
Well, think about getting 7 plate appearances.
That's true.
In a 9-inning game.
It'd have to be a 22-0 ball game.
Something like that.
Think about the second baseman that the Pirates had in that year. Stennett, Cash, Willie Randolph. Before Randolph went to the Yankees.
They were all there at the same time. Huh?
Yeah, but Stennett beat Randolph out. That's what led to his trade to the Yankees.
And Phil Garner came along.
Right.
Had some good years for them.
Ball 1 strike to count to Nick Evans. I think things worked out for Willie Randolph.
Yeah, pretty much so.
Way upstairs. 2-1 the count to Evans. Evans played for the Mets last year. Trying to make this club as an extra man. There's Michael Stutz chatting with Mick Billmeyer. Line drive toward left field. That'll drop in. Pierre takes it on a hop. McLeod is going to score or cuts it off and holds Evans at first. So the first run of the day for the Pirates comes here in the 8th on an RBI single by Nick Evans.
Leadoff walk. That'll hurt you a lot of times, and it did in this inning.
Catcher Eric Fryer.
So Eric Fryer will be the hitter. Fryer up for the first time as he took over for McHenry. McHenry will probably be the backup for the Pirates to Rod Barajas. Fryer did play in 10 games last year for Pittsburgh. He's 26 years old. Last year he split time between AA and AAA and then spent a little time in the majors. Had 7 home runs, 27 runs batted in, 273 average in the minor leagues. And it's 2-0. He was probably bragging a little bit last week, though, Wheels, when it came to the basketball tournament. Ohio University.
So was Mike Schmidt.
Yes, he was. To left field, Pierre won't get there. That one's going to go to the wall. Evans is going to be waved home by Nick Leyva. Abreu's throw to the plate is offline. That's an RBI double. It's now a 4-2 ball game.
There were a lot of positives this afternoon, but now he gets negative working right now at the start with some pitches up, and he's getting hit a little bit. And he's a guy they need. Rich Doobie's going to go out and have a chat with him.
I think that may be it for him. Michael Stutz has been warming in the pen.
That's just a high hit me fastball, and that's what happened to it.
The bullpen door is swung open. Michael Stutz is going to come on to try to get the last out. here in the 8th inning. The Phillies up by 4, now up by 2. The runner in scoring position at 2 outs. Michael Stutz is coming in the ballgame. The Phillies up 4-2 here in the top of the 8th inning. 2 outs. Michael Stutz is going to try to get the last out in this inning. Washington Nationals will visit Philadelphia for the first time on Monday, May 21st. It's a 3-game series. Part of that is a Hatfield Dollar Dog Night on Tuesday the 22nd. Go to Phillies.com to check out all the Dollar Dog Nights this year and to purchase your tickets for that series against the Nationals. Here's Michael Stutz. Revamped curveball and all. Talked to Michael yesterday about his curveball. He said, you know, he thinks he threw the same kind of curve early last year. And he went back, changed a few mechanical things after watching the end of the year film. And he thinks he's, you know, back to where he wants to be with that curve.
Well, we talked about it all spring that it's a different breaking ball than we saw during the summer last year.
Well, Casey McGee is the hitter. And he takes low and away. 1 ball and no strikes. What Michael did say is that the curveball's fine. He said now he's got to get the fastball where he needs it to be.
Yeah, he just missed there with the first pitch. May have been a slider.
Now McGee went around on that pitch. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Threw him the breaking ball behind in the count. McGee's going to swing fastball there and couldn't stop.
Over at second base is Eric Fryer. He just drove in the 2nd run for the Pirates. Nice play by Schneider. Boy, that was a tough play. And it's 2-1.
Yeah, catcher anticipate the breaking ball in the dirt, which Brian does here. And look at him use his body to block it. You know, don't try to just catch it. Backhand them, you know, try and get out and do what he did.
That ball is hit well to left center field. They're not going to get it. It's going to go to the wall. It's going to be a 1-run ball game. Casey McGee's going to pull in the 2nd with his 2nd double of the day. This one an RBI double, and already here in the 8th, the Pirates have scored 3 runs.
A lot of high pitches in this inning. The Pirates credit, they're not missing them.
Second baseman Kurt Singer.
So Kurt Singer will bat for the first time.
Just a high fastball, probably not even a strike, but it sure looked good to Casey McGee, and he hit it hard.
Singer took over for Navarro, who was hit by pitches last time up. Came on a pinch run for him. Singer played 1 year, has played 1 year so far for the Pirates at State College, at .238 last season. And he loops that one to right field. That'll drop in for a base hit. McGee's coming home. Pasetnik's throw to the plate is not in time. McGee gets his hand in, and we're tied up at 4. How about this? 4-0 lead, and the Pirates have scored 4 runs here in the 8th.
With 2 outs.
2 men down.
2 outs and 1 man on base, and the next thing you know, 4 runs. Good job by the Pirates, but you know, a lot of hittable pitches in this inning by 2 guys that they're counting on.
Well, now Pedro Alvarez, 1 for 3 today, 2 strikeouts, swing and a miss at a breaking ball, and it's 0-1. Alvarez average at 139, 15 strikeouts this spring.
Okay. Had two more strikeouts today. Phillies will have their hands full with the Pirates at the beginning of the year, especially out there. They always struggle in that ballpark.
Runner goes as Schneider blocks the pitch. And it's 1-2.
Well, that was literally 55-footer.
Yeah. And a called strike 3. 3 times today Alvarez has gone down on strikes, but the Pirates tie it up here in the 8th. They score 4 runs. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Charlie Manuel's team is all tied up at 4. Hey fans, the Junior Phillies Club is for Phillies fans 14 and under. The price is $13. And members receive 2012 Junior Phillies duffel bag, a Hunter Pence poster, and collectible magnets, membership card, discounts, and membership benefits. Register by going to Phillies.com/Junior Phillies Club. It's presented by Powerade. Oh, look at that. 4-0 going into the top of the 8th, and now it's tied up at 4. The Pirates have 8 hits. The Phillies have 10. And Chris Johnson is the new pitcher for the Pirates. Last year, he pitched for the Red Sox organization, and also he pitched an independent ball. 24 games, 8-5, 4.70 earned run average. So he'll face Pete Orr to start things off. Then Brian Schneider is scheduled to bat, and Freddie Galvis. Wheels have had a lot of extra inning games here at home this year.
Yeah, 1 on the road and what, 3 or 4 here? 4 here.
5 overall?
Yeah. Well, we've been very happy about being able to bring fans extra baseball here in these telecasts.
Well, there's Joe Savory. He might be needed as this game moves on.
Yeah, well, you could tell what they wanted to do was go Bastardo, Stutz, and
maybe Papelbon.
Take a shower.
Yeah, Pap is warming in a pen right now.
Yeah, maybe they weren't going to use Stutz. They were just going to use Papelbon if they got through the inning.
Well, Pete Orr is the batter. He's 2 for 3 today, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Phillies scored 2 in the first, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the sixth. But they did have a chance to score more in the fourth and more in the sixth.
Yep.
Actually, they had a chance to score even more in the first. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Well, I'd like to see if they could get a lead as Eric Kratz waits on deck, and then have Papelbon come in an actual save situation. Not quite the adrenaline you'd have during the season, but still a save.
There's Papelbon. Inside, 2-2. Trying to get that leadoff batter aboard, make something happen here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Left-handed pitcher shading Orr way over towards left center field, with McLeod with the center fielder, and a big gap in right center. And the right fielder is really deep.
Orr off the end of the bat toward the middle. Singer surrounds it, sets himself, and fires over to first. And 1 away. So Eric Kratz will pinch hit for Brian Schneider. Kratz has taken some ground balls over at first base the last couple of days. He's hitting .400 this spring with a couple of home runs, 3 RBIs. He had himself a busy day. He's taking ground balls at first. Then he was working with Mick Billmeyer and Ernie Witt on his throws to second base as a catcher. He and Tuffy Goswitch. That ball is hit the other way, and he's going to be aboard. Took a bad hop at the end against McGee, but McGee played it off to the side instead of staying in front of it.
That still should be a hit, I think.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, as hard as that ball was hit, as you said, Tom. But you got to be careful getting in front of a lot of balls on spring training.
So Kratz is on. Here's Freddie Galvis. A little bat from the right side. 1 for 3 today. John Mayberry's come out in the on-deck circle for the Phillies. The pitcher spot is due up next. And the first pitch to Freddie is inside. It's 1-0. They have scored that a base hit for Kratz, so 11 hits for the Phils.
Good job of the official scorer today. Happens to be Kevin Gregg.
Kevin Gregg, part of the Phillies media relations staff.
Mm-hmm. Fine media relations staff. We may need something. I can kick that in there.
Might need something from Joe, your intern.
Joe, Greg, Bonnie.
Foul ball as Kratz was going. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Don't forget Deanna and Craig. They're back in Philadelphia. Chris Ware.
Craig.
I said Craig.
Yeah.
I said Craig.
Oh, yeah, you did. I'm sorry. Didn't want to leave anybody out.
Yeah.
Deanna.
I said.
I know you said that.
The man's hanging on my every word.
Well, most of the time I do. I guess you lost me with the staff. Just think about another tie game.
The Baron's here, Wills. You could have mentioned the Baron, Larry Shea.
Yeah, in a way, he counts, doesn't he? What else we got?
Baron?
What else we have?
We got everybody.
Did we mention Larry Shank?
Oh, we did, yeah.
How about Vince Noss?
Saw him today or yesterday. 1-2 pitch. And a tapper foul. That got the foot of Freddie.
A lot of media relations alumni around. Ed Wade. And they don't need that. This is a guy they need to stay healthy.
Sean Pekasny, one of the Phillies athletic trainers, coming out with Charlie Manuel. And
yeah,
Galvis is trying to walk that pain off right now. Pryor will go out to the mound to talk with Johnson.
And Freddie doesn't want to leave the game because he's trying to impress everybody, even though he's probably at the point where he's going to play.
Right.
But still.
see where he's going to go. He's going to stop in the batter's box. Take a look and see where this ball hit. Yeah, right on the instep. Ooh, right on the top of the foot. Ow. Above the instep.
That's the kind that gets guys wearing those guards.
Well, the sting is probably still there. He'll dig back in. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Freddie Galvis, with Kratz over at first in a 4-4 game here in the 8th. Phillies had a little hit and run going earlier. Maybe Johnson thought he would be leaving a little early.
Yeah, and you usually don't hit and run 1 and 2, but you never know.
Another foul ball. Oh boy, he's really limping. He didn't foul that one off his foot. He's just limping from the last one and just taking that extra step.
No, that thump right there was off the catcher. See him trying to get some feeling back in that foot.
Grounds it over toward the shortstop side. Harrison picks it up, throws over to first, and Galvis, limping up the first base line, is retired. I would think his day is done. Yeah. Kratz moves into scoring position, so John Mayberry will bat with a runner at second. That's the go-ahead run for the Phillies.
Yeah, they're going to have to get him out of the game, meaning Freddie.
Hector Luna had come in from the minor league fields.
See Galvis right here going up the line, and definite hitch in his giddy up.
So they could move Orr over to second and have Luna play third.
Right.
Mayberry takes way inside. It's 1-0.
Really have shallow in center field right now. Big gap in right center, and there he will probably head towards the clubhouse in left field.
They have some trainers tables underneath the stands here, so maybe they'll look at him there real quick. See Mayberry's numbers this spring. Average isn't where he'd like it to be. Still looking for his first spring training home run. And he may have gone around. He did, says Phil Cousin. One and one the count.
The catcher at second, even though there's 2 outs, can be tough to score in a single.
Center fielder McLeod is playing shallow. The other 2 outfielders are back a step or 2. You probably have to go to the right or left of the 2. Well, to all 3. That ball's hit toward the middle, picked up by Harrison. Nice play from behind the bag, and he gets Mayberry. So the Phillies threaten but do not score. We go to the 9th inning here at Bright House Field, all tied up at 4. Pittsburgh Pirates. training and a breakdown of tonight's Cavs-Sixers game. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night. It's tonight at 6 and 10 only on Comcast Sportsnet. Sixers battling the Celtics for the top spot in the division right now. They've had themselves a good year, looking to make it even better. Doug Collins just picked up his 400th win. As we go to the top of the ninth, it's a 4-4 game, so Pete Orr does move to second base for the Phillies. And Hector Luna comes on to play third. Freddie Galvis' day is done. Eric Kratz remains in the ball game to catch for the Phils. So Jonathan Papelbon is the new pitcher for the Phillies. Ninth ball game. Papelbon's had himself a pretty good spring. A 1.13 earned run average, 8 strikeouts. Garrett Jones will lead it off against Papelbon here in the ninth. Garrett Jones, Nate McLouth, those are the scheduled hitters to start it off. And it's no balls and 1 strike. See the increase in his velocity. I mean, it's subtle as spring training's gone on.
It'll be fun to see getting the ballparks with the radar guns
yeah.
again and know what guys are throwing instead of trying to guess.
Well, and even just the intensity level, just the energy of the ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
During a regular season game.
Well, the upper deck's going to do that.
That ball would have been up into the upper deck by Garrett Jones.
Still 100 feet below us in Pittsburgh.
The upper deck is.
That foul ball for sure. Did you ever see a ball go above your eyes in Pittsburgh?
No.
Not too often. Beautiful ballpark, though.
Gorgeous.
Boy, that is a nice place.
Garrett Jones stays alive, and it remains 0-2. Phillies, of course, signed Papelbon this offseason to be their closer. He takes over for Ryan Matson, who heard the unfortunate news last week that he's going to need Tommy John surgery.
That's a shame. It really is.
Reading some of the papers out in Cincinnati, they're wondering, was that a pre-existing injury? And he was fine last year. Down and away, 1-2.
He had a little circulation thing in his hand.
Right.
Remember, with a finger that he wasn't able to pitch for a while, but that had nothing to do with his elbow.
He had a sore elbow earlier this spring, and he just kept trying to nurse himself back. And a called strike 3. Boy, they have been feeding the outside part of the plate today, the Phillies pitchers, at least 3 of the 5. Lee, Kendrick, and now Papelbon.
That was just a real good fastball for a strike. Papelbon throws a couple different fastballs. Throws 4-seamer, 2-seamer. He'll throw a slider and a split. Those are, from what we understand, are the 4 pitches he's going to feature.
Well, McLouth walked and scored the first of the 4 runs in the 8th inning for the Pirates. And he takes outside. 1-0 the count. Ground ball right side. Pete Orr is there. And 2 outs. Papelbon gets the strikeout on the fastball, the ground ball out on the split.
There's a good split too. I think he started with 1-2 and then threw another one there. Really went down. Got the left-handed hitter to smother it.
That'll leave the 9th inning for Jake Fox, Pittsburgh. Brian Talbot is warming up in the bullpen for the Pirates. At least he was scheduled to be the next pitcher. There's a lefty that's throwing out there. Nope. Daniel Moscas.
But he is a left-hander.
He is. Take another glance at my Pirate roster, and he's not on that roster. Want to know the count to Fox. Swing and foul tip. It's 1-1. Well, he's right around the strike zone, isn't he?
Yeah, it looks like he thinks he's ready.
I guess the next step would be back-to-back games.
Mm-hmm.
Ground ball is short. Nice hop for Abreu. And he throws out Fox. A 1-2-3. Boy, real easy inning for Jonathan Papelbon. He gets a strikeout, 2 ground outs. That'll take the ball game to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Phillies and the Pirates tied up at 4. Tickets for the 2012 Phillies games are available for most every ball game. All you have to do is go to Phillies.com and check them out. You can also check out when the Hatfield Dollar Dog Nights are, when Smiley will be in the yard with the Fanatic. Well, the first 2 are Thursday, April 12th and Monday, April 30th. Again, go to Phillies.com. Make your plans. Do not delay.
All of a sudden, we have a friendly breeze blowing out now from right to left, helping right-handed hitters a little bit.
All right, well, maybe we can use it here in the bottom of the 9th as Daniel Moskos is in the ball game. 8th ball game for the Pirates. And he'll pitch to the top of the Phillies order.
Right-handed hitters only hitting 50. What's that? 058, 59 off him.
154 overall. Montañez will lead it off for the Phillies.
A lot of times that means the guy has some kind of trick pitch. You see the flags all of a sudden, as they say, freshened. The breeze has freshened. That's a golf expression. From left field to right, or from right field to left. So remember, Lou Montañez won a game here when the Pirates were here last time, hit a home run that the wind helped a little bit.
On the ball game against Michael Doobie. And he starts this one off with a broken bat, 1 hopper to second, 1 away. 1 pitch, 1 set aside. Now, Jonathan Papelbon will not pitch another inning for the Phillies, and there's nobody warming in the Phillies bullpen. So this might be it. We have not heard official word whether we'll play more than 9 innings. A lot of times the coaches will talk about it in between innings.
Let me handle this.
Yeah, go ahead, Wheels.
Pete McCann and Clint Hurdle, the manager of the Pirates, exchanged hand signals during that break, and we think they used 9 fingers and not 10, but we're not sure, but we think that.
I think they did use 9.
You all right?
Yeah, I am good.
Okay.
It's that gentle breeze that you were talking about.
That freshening zephyr of a breeze to left got you.
Here's Manny Abreu, or Miguel Abreu, excuse me, and he takes high. 1 ball, no strikes. Abreu popped out his only time up. Came on to pinch run in the 5th and stole 2 bags. And trying to check his swing. He went around. It's 2-1.
You think he's an opposite field hitter, even though he's ahead in the count. They're playing him towards right center and give him the alley and left. A lot of times when a guy gets ahead in the count like this, you know, if you're in between on him, you're going to move over. But see, the center fielder still playing towards right center, so that means they really think he's opposite field guy.
He So that's a shallow center field. McLeod is coming in. And there's the second out. And Wheels, we've been officially told that this will be the last inning. So if the last out is recorded here, then this game will end in a tie in 9 innings.
Was in fact 9 fingers.
It was. And there is nobody warming up in the Phillies bullpen.
That's another sign that it's going to be 9.
And that does happen from time to time. It hasn't happened here so far this spring. When we've been tied, we've gone into extra innings at least one. We haven't gone any farther than 10. Scott Pasetnik is the batter. The Phillies and the Pirates tied at 4.
What's going on here? It's the second one they've thrown behind a guy.
Can't imagine there's any intent.
It looked like Moscow's kind of got away, but who knows?
Down and away, 2-0. Lefty Scott Pasetnik solo home run gives the Phillies their second walk-off home run victory this spring here at Bright House Fields. Scott Pasetnik is not known for the long ball, but he launched that one deep to right field, and the Phillies have won the game 5-4. And it doesn't matter which hand signals Hurdle and Pete Buchanan used before this inning began.
Both those walk-off home runs are hit against the Pirates.
Yep. Well, we've had Hector Luna win a ball game for the Phillies in extra innings. Luis Montañez homered to win a ball game against the Pirates earlier this spring. And now Scott Pasetnik goes yard here in the bottom of the 9th inning. This is a tough at-bat. Lefty against lefty, and he drilled it.
Yeah, the wind was blowing the other way, too. He really had to hit that thing. It was a fastball. He knew it right away. Well out of the ballpark to right field, and that was after the guy threw a ball behind him.
Yep.
So that'd feel good.
So that ball was launched pretty well by Scott Pasetnik, and the Phillies win it 5-4. That's got to make Scott feel good. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a spring training game, if it's a Little League game. That kind of a victory, which makes Jonathan Papelbon the winner, makes everybody happy around the yard, including the guy that contributed the hit, and that was Scott Pasetnik. So the Phillies up 4-0 at one point. The Pirates tied it with 4 in the 8th inning, and then that guy right there won the ball game with a solo home run to right field to put the exclamation point on this afternoon's affair here at Bright House Field. So the Phillies win it 5-4. Charlie Manuel's team avoids another extra inning game as they win it today by 1. Scott Pasetnik set himself a pretty good spring offensively. He's come in very late in games, and he was in late in this one, and he wins it for the Phils, and he gets a chance to chat with Murph for a second time.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Hey, you know, spring training, not spring training, always nice to win in that fashion. I bet you that one felt pretty good.
Oh, felt real good. Felt real good. Got ahead in the count, got a good pitch to hit, and didn't miss it.
You know, early in that at bat, you battled in that at bat, and the one that came in close, so maybe a little, not so much payback, but nice to finish it by putting one over the fence, I guess, after that.
Well, it's any ball game's are fun to finish that way, but you know, it's good to win the ball game. I think we were out of pitchers, so they said let's try to score one. So fortunately, we were able to put one up there in the ninth.
Came right down to the end, but you finished off. Scott, thanks a lot for your time. Appreciate it. Guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you. So Scott Pasetnik sends everybody home happy here at Bright House Field, except for the Pittsburgh Pirates, as the Phillies win it 5-4 to solo home run. We'll be back to talk.